Mr. En français. Monsieur Jean-Marie TAGA FOSSO a la parole des nationalités françaises sur la discrimination pour motif de la nationalité en relation avec la négative des autorités britanniques pour reconnaître l'intitulé français des pharmacies. Monsieur Jean-Marie TAGA a la parole. Merci beaucoup.
Ladies and gentlemen, honorable MEPs, I hereby wish to thank the Committee on Petition of the European Parliament for giving me once more, this day, 9th of November 2010, the opportunity to defend my petition, which is about discrimination based on nationality by the British authorities who don't recognize my French degree in pharmacy with regard to new pharmacy, even though I've been on the pharmacist register in the UK for the past nearly 13 years. During its meeting of last February 23rd, 2010, the Committee on Petition of the European Parliament decided to request more information from the European Commission, as well as to write to the British authorities to inform them that their interpretation of the European directive in the matter is clearly discriminatory and restrictive. The Committee on Petition also decided to ask the European Commission to refer the case to the European Court of Justice, given the flagrant breach by the British authorities with regard to recognition of qualifications in the case of pharmacies. In their response to the European Commission on the 19th of August 2010, the British authorities stuck to their erroneous and wrong interpretation, but nevertheless promised to change the incriminated law, subject to consultation and parliamentary process. However, without being a legal expert, I will use common sense to prove that the British authorities actually are wrong, because not only this discriminatory law is unjustified and illegal, but also the promise made by the British authorities is baseless. First of all, the British authorities failed to give a time frame for the change of this law. And it should be recalled that in the past 4 years, they've made 4 promises. The first one was on the 2nd of July 2007. They made me a promise that they were about to change the law within the next parliamentary process in 2008, when the new responsible pharmacist concept was to come into effect. That was in July 2007. And then I said, I will wait. Waiting for a year doesn't, actually, I can wait. So when I waited, and in 2008, when the responsible pharmacist concept came to the Parliament, and noticed that actually this matter was not on the agenda, with the promise they made over a year before. So around the health authority, I said, what's going on? They say, well, the law is still there. We haven't changed it. So on the 28th of January 2009, I made another complaint to remind the British authorities that, well, the responsible pharmacist concept have now come into effect, and we are European pharmacists still haven't got the right of establishment in the UK, even though we have been on the register for ages. And their reply on the 28th of January was that, 2009, that, okay, we've got your letter, but we are still demanding to change the law, subject to consultation and parliamentary process. That's what they say. That was the second time, 29th of January 2009. 28th of January, sorry. And then again, on the 21st of October 2009, they made similar promise to Spanish pharmacist Alvaro Escalada, who is the author of petition 1413, which is linked with my petition. So when he made a complaint, they promised him that, okay, we are going to change the law, but subject to parliamentary process and consultation. That was on 21st of October last year. And this year again, after my petition came up in the Parliament on the 23rd of February, and when there was a request asking them to actually make some observation from the Commission. So they now come up on the 19th of August of this year to tell you that, okay, we are going to change the law. Again, this is the fourth time. So that's which means the promise they made actually is a lie. It's a lie, it's a lie. Secondly, the consultation they're talking about is baseless, it's pointless, because on the 3rd of December 2009, the whole pharmacy body in the UK, including the Pharmaceutical Society of Northern Ireland, which is part of the UK, they signed a resolution asking the government to scrap this shameful law at the earliest opportunity. That was on the 3rd of December 2009. Now they are talking of consultation. What consultation again? The pharmacy body in its entirety were consulted. So which means that really this is of no avail. And to the British authorities, because this is where they are coming from, they say, look, the aim of this discrimination, which is not intentional, that's what they say. The aim is actually the reciprocity, in the sense that in Europe, most member states don't allow non-pharmacists to own a pharmacy. In most European countries, it's only the pharmacists who can own a pharmacy, and which is not the case in the UK, where a legal person or individual can own pharmacies. So the British authorities say, look, because we are in that situation, our people, if they go to Europe, they haven't got the same legal protection. They can't set up businesses in Europe. And that's why we have to apply this restriction, which is actually in the directive of European law, which is Directive 21/2005/36 EC. So that's where they are coming from. They say this is their alibi. They say that's why we are applying this. And I say, look, this law, if it's a reciprocity, if that's the aim, if that's the objective, yes. So it's not. That's not. It doesn't work, because this reciprocity. Why do you then prevent European pharmacists from being responsible pharmacists for life? There's no limit. I've been in the UK for 13 years now. There's no limit. 20 years, there's no limit. And also, they don't allow you to work in a new pharmacy, even as a salary earner or a self-employed. So there's something wrong in this law. And more so, if we have to follow their logic, which is reciprocity, some countries in Europe, not all countries have got this law, which doesn't allow non-pharmacists to own a pharmacy. We've got the case of Ireland. In Ireland, a legal person can own a pharmacy. And worst of all, which is very important, you've got this law, which is applied, which is implemented in the Northern Ireland, which is part of the UK, to the best of my knowledge. This same law applies to European pharmacists and to Northern Ireland. And for your information, sorry for wasting the time, I received an email yesterday at 5 o'clock from the Pharmaceutical Society of Northern Ireland, and they say, please, we've got just have the information that you have your petition coming up tomorrow. We are interested party in that petition. This is the latest information I had, because they are also discriminated. Is Northern Ireland not part of the UK? The derogation of Article 21(4) of Directive 2005/36 EC apply to member states, not to citizens of the same state. So that's another problem. So basically, what about responsible pharmacists, Europeans, who works in the same pharmacy for 10 years continuously, and who are sacked because the pharmacy is going to move next door? They will be sacked straight away. So that's why I believe, honestly, that. Yeah, so
we are in the time.
Yeah, we were three of us to be here, but I'm just on my own. Sorry about that. So, which means that I believe that this derogation, which the UK are relying upon to justify this discrimination, actually was not actually meant by the spirit of the Parliament and the Council.
Mr. Tara, we have understood it. And
so, which means that I'm going further. Sorry.
Now I'm going to read you afterwards 1 minute or 2 minutes after speaking the Commission. We are going to listen to the Commission.
Yes.
And afterwards you are going to have the opportunity to answer him. Okay?
Okay. Yeah, so on the 26th of September, sorry.
Mr. Tara.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry about that.
We are going to
sorry about that.
Yes.
Thank you, Chairman. First of all, I would like to summarize the legal problem before giving an answer to the petition. So basically, the petition concerns of European citizen pharmacists who moved to the UK. They have obtained their diploma in a member state other than the UK, and they wanted to be appointed as pharmacists responsible for newly established pharmacies which are either brand new or have been established have been founded in the last 3 years. The UK authorities refused the appointment of these people to newly established pharmacists, and they based this refusal on a derogation in the Professional Qualification Directive. The Professional Qualifications Directive allows member states not to take into account the automatic recognition of pharmacist diplomas in order to set up new pharmacies. As we already indicated to the Petition Committee, we do not agree with the legal interpretation of the UK authorities, which was also adopted in the UK Medical Act. We consider that this derogation only authorizes member states not to take into account the automatic recognition of these people, but this does not mean that the UK authorities can refuse the fundamental freedom of establishment from these people, meaning that they should also be appointed as pharmacists responsible for new pharmacies. According to the settled case law of the European Court of Justice, and this is the Gebhardt case, any measure which is liable to hinder or make less attractive the exercise of fundamental freedoms must be applied in a non-discriminatory manner, justified by interpretive requirements in the general interest, suitable for attaining the pursued objective, and they must not go beyond what is necessary in order to attain it. And we don't see how the UK measures satisfy the requirements of this case. So basically, after our last communication to the European Parliament, we sent an EU pilot letter to the UK. I'd like to inform the members of the European Parliament that EU pilot is a new method of problem solving between the member states and the European Commission, which was agreed in 2008 between certain member states, including the UK and the European Commission. And in every case when there might be a recourse to an infringement procedure under Article 258 of the Treaty on the Functioning of the European Union. Before the Commission services proposed the College of Commissioners to send a letter of formal notice, which is the first step in an infringement procedure, we must contact the UK authorities via this EU pilot. We sent this EU pilot in June, and we received an answer only at the end of August. This answer reflects the change in the view of the UK authorities in that they do not accept our legal opinion, but they express their intention to amend the UK legislation and repeal the provision which would prohibit the refusal of EU qualified pharmacists to be appointed as people responsible for new pharmacies. However, this letter, as correctly stated by Mr. TAGA FOSSO does not give a concrete deadline for the amendment of such legislation. So the European Commission went back to the UK authorities via EU pilot and requested them to clarify the UK position, to send us a reasonable and concrete timetable for the amendment, and also the draft legislative proposal. And we also asked for clarification why this public consultation is necessary, because as the petitioner told, there was a letter agreed by several pharmaceutical organizations which asked the UK authorities to amend this law. We received an answer yesterday which states that this public consultation is necessary because it's a statutory requirement under UK law, but they do not give any timetable for amending the UK legislation. So we have to assess this letter and consider whether sending a letter of formal notice is necessary.
Mr. Bostinaru.
Mr. Chairman, it's such a long and sad déjà vu. 4 times the petitioner have been told they will change the law and never did it. Now they told to the European Commission they want to change the law but without any timetable. And what do remain in the end, I might understand the well-known British opting out. I do not understand the British opting out when it's about the Romanian doctors, which are heavily employed in the UK, and not only the Romanian doctors, many other doctors coming from other. But I will completely reject the idea of discriminating people in UK only because they want to preserve a sort of British monopoly over the pharmaceutical business. This is all about, let's be honest, we can play the worst, but it's about preserving a British monopoly over the pharmaceutical business in UK. This should be refused, this should be rejected, and we shall ask also the Commission, how many letters do you need, dear Mr. European Commission, before launching the infringement? Because you are so gentle, so soft, so kind. What do you probably need in the end? It's to receive from London, yes, we will change the law at calendas grecas. And then probably you will act finally. Thank you very much. But we oppose to this huge and shameful delay. For the European citizens to be treated in this way and still acceptable for the European Commission, it's something I will refuse to imagine. We, the Petty Committee, we cannot accept this behavior from any member state. Full stop. Thank you.
So it's very clear. I agree with Mr. Bostinaru. All of us, I think that we agree with Mr. Bostinaru who has said. And now the question is that we have sent several letters about this issue, and we have not an answer, a clear answer of the Commission. So in this case, we are going to continue with this petition open, of course, yes. We give you all the reason to the petitioners. And what we want to know is, for the future, what is going to be the answer of the comment? What are you going to do about this issue? Because we are very tired to send you about these issues, letters, answers of the petitions committee about this question. And so you have the ball in your roof. So you have to move that ball, and you have to tell us what, very quickly, what you are going to do on behalf of the Commission about this issue, and the answer has to be very quickly. If we have not a quickly answer, I suggest to send this question to the coordinators meeting and to speak about this question, because as you said, Mr. Bostinaru, this is a monopoly of the British government, and we cannot continue with this issue. And so we want an answer, a quick answer about this issue. Are you okay? Are you agree with me? Okay. And with this issue, we have finished it today in the morning petitions committee. We are going to continue.